Right, look, we might get started. I think that's all we've got for today. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our 6th edition of albumworks Presents, part of our ongoing live webinar series. My name is Naomi and I'm a member of our customer service team here in Melbourne. Hopefully all your photo book creating is going well. It's a great way to spend some time each day while we're all stuck here at home. So keep going on your books. We want this to be an interactive session, so please feel free to ask questions along the way. To ask a question, you should see the webinar control panel on the right-hand side of your screen if you're on a computer. You can type a question into this dialog box and send it. If you're tuning in on a phone or tablet, you should see a question mark at the top right of your screen, which you can press to type a question. I'll make time at the end to answer your questions. So in this series, I'll be working with the downloadable editor on a Windows computer. The Mac version of the editor is the same, so Mac users will be able to follow along as well. Today's webinar should take about 15 minutes, and today's topic is creating a beautiful Mother's Day album for your mum or your wife or any other special person. I'm going to look at deciding how to categorize your photos, choosing your theme and product type, adding your photos to the album, and enhancing your photos on the page. All right, so let's get started. First of all, the first decision that you need to make is how you're going to categorize your photos in the book. Excuse my screen. And that there are a lot of different ways you can categorize your photos. Given that Mother's Day is only 3 weeks away, you want to do something quick and easy, what you could do is just choose a celebration that you may have had in the last couple of years, an anniversary or a birthday where mum's been there and or the grandkids or the kids have been there and some photos have been taken, and you could just pop that all into a book. That's one good way to do it. Or perhaps there's been a recent trip somewhere and photos from that trip is another way. The alternative is that you can go in chronological order. So you might want to do a life history of your mum. Obviously that's going to take a bit more time, but it is a great project to do. I actually did a project like that for my mum for her 70th birthday, which was 10 years ago. Hi mum, if you're listening. And I'm just going to show you what I did just as an example of how to do a book chronologically. So if you have a look at my screen, this is the book that the cover of the book I did for my mum. Once we get inside, I'll just scroll down a bit. I started with her early years, her growing up, and her parents, her school years, some school photos, and I continued on with her brother and her family and her parents, and basically did photos of the family. And then I had well, from teenager going into university years and turning into a beautiful lady, and continued on her wedding, family life, married life, family life. Here come the kids. There's me on the right-hand side, and then our family all together, and then her kids' weddings, both her kids' weddings, and then grandkids. So we went on, and then we continued. She is an artist, so I decided to show some of her work as an artist. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. And then from after that, she travels quite a bit, so I did photos from her travels around the world. And finally, I did a section for friends and family here, family and friends, and tried to find a photo of all her friends and relatives, and so that everyone was included in the book. And it continues on. Including, of course, the family pets. So that's another way you can do it. That obviously involves a lot more research, but it's a great little project if you've got the time for it. Anyway, today, I'm just going to focus on showing you how to, so yeah, you need to categorize your photos, work out what you're going to do. The next thing to do is to decide on what book you're going to make. So I'm going to open up the albumworks program. This is the editor. We're going to click on Start a New Project. And we need to choose what book. I'm just going to do a normal classic 11 by 8.5 inch book. So I'm going to choose classic photo books. Then we get to choose a theme. In the download editor, there are a few themes here to choose from. If you want to see what the themes look like, you can go onto our website, and they're on our website under photo books. You can have a look at the different themes. So if you're not sure what to choose, for example, you might look at the modern white theme. If you click on that, you can then open an example of what the modern white book looks like, and you'll just see basically it's got white backgrounds and nice classic sort of style, or contemporary. It's quite contemporary actually, but that's one example. Then if you want to look at different themes, you can go back. Also, in our download editor, we don't offer all the themes available, and that's because it makes the program a bit too heavy and slow to work. If there are themes online that you can't find in the download editor, you can certainly work online with any of these themes here. So for something for mum, you might want to make it nice and bright and colourful. It's a good thing to do, and I'll show you how to do that by using enhancements once you're in the theme. So let's go back. I'm actually going to build my own theme today just because I want to show you a few things. The two themes that have the most number of page style options are the build your own theme and the classic theme. So I'm just going to choose 11 by 8.5 landscape. I'm going to add my photos, which are on my computer, in a folder, which I have called Mother's Day. So I'm just going to select that folder, and I'm going to click next. We'll call it Mother's Day so I know what it's about, and create. So I've chosen a photo cover, which means that I can design the cover myself as well. While this is opening, another cover option is to have a premium material cover, and that's either a linen or a faux leather cover, and there's a range of colours you can choose from. An example is here on our website. This one here, which is it's a buckram, which is a linen, and it's a kind of a navy blue, and you can have hot stamping on it, so you can have Happy Mother's Day typed on, or your mum's name or whatever, and you can have it in gold, silver, or blind lettering. Blind is the same colour as the fabric that you've chosen. So that's another more traditional option if you prefer that to the photo cover. All right, hopefully my book has now opened. Yes, it has. It's asked me to upgrade. I won't worry at the moment. So here's my cover. And the next thing is to start adding your photos to the book and doing some fun enhancements to it. Seeing as you all saw my mother, you might as well, or 10 years ago, you might as well see what she looks like now. And she's doing the right thing, as you can see. She has her mask on here to make sure she doesn't get coronavirus. That's just, it's not a great photo, but we'll just zoom in on her a little bit. And that can be my cover photo. I want to make it look, actually my mum loves colour. So what we're going to do is add a background. And I quite like all the pattern backgrounds. There's some really nice ones there. Let's find something nice and bright for mum. I think she might like these spots. That's really pretty. So, so there you go. That might be my cover, and I might just add some text down here and say, let me see if I can spell. Yep, Happy Mother's Day. And I might just make it a bit bigger so that I can read it and make it nice and big on the page, maybe 24. No, we'll make it even bigger, 48, and we'll choose a nice font. I quite like Lucida calligraphy, which I have on my computer. So we'll choose that. Now it has gone over the edge of the text box, so I'm just going to make my text box bigger. It's really going over the edge, so I might have to, oh, there we go, perfect. It is a bit busy. I probably wouldn't have the spots behind it, so maybe we can put the text up here just so that it's more visible. Anyway, that's just an example of what you can do. I'm going to go into the actual album now and show you how to design a couple of really nice pages using your photos plus backgrounds, frames, scrapbook items. My computer has just frozen. Okay, let's get to pages 2 and 3. So, right, we have some photos here on the left-hand side. Sometimes what it's really nice to do is have one photo as a hero photo and to make it take up the whole page. So under my page styles, I'm going to find a full page, which is where the cross goes through the whole page, and I'll just drag that on there, and there you go, my photo's taken up the whole page. I might just move these people over a bit so we can see them. So that's I might do that on that page, and then on the opposite page I might want to have a bit of background and a bit of scrapbooking just to make it look more interesting. So I'm going to find a page style that does allow me to do that. This one's good. It doesn't, the photo doesn't take up the whole page. Let's add this photo in here. And what we're going to do is add a nice background to it. So let's choose our backgrounds. You can use any of these textured backgrounds, or if you just want a plain background, that can also look really nice. I might just want a plain color. Most of the time pastel colors are nice as they don't detract too much from the photo, so you may just want to look at a nice pastel color like that. Something nice and bright, or nice, I guess pinks and blues and yellows for mum is a good one to go with. And we want to add a scrapbook item to this page just to make it look a bit pretty. So actually, if we go into the love scrapbook items, there are some good ones here. I quite like this one with the hearts. And there you go, and that looks really good. We can put some text in there if we want. We can just add a text box, and I'm just going to pop it down here. And it's going to move up because I've gone over the edge of the page. So we'll just change the size of the text box. Hang on, excuse me. And we can write in here. And because it's a pink background, I think I'm going to change actually I'll write my text first. Best mum in the world. And let's make it, first of all, I'm going to change the color to white so it's easier to read. We can change the size to something nice and big. And, you know, you could put a different font on it as well if you want to. If you don't like white, if you find that's too white, you can change it to something else as well. But basically, you've put together a nice spread there. That's one page done. Let's look at doing a couple of different things. The other thing is you can add some really nice frames to a page. So let's choose a page style. I think I just want one that's got just maybe 2 or 3 pictures on the page. I might use this one, but I'm just going to shift my boxes up a bit so that they're all on the page. So I can add some photos in here. Let's add this photo, and so this photo, big one of mum. And then to make the page more interesting, we can add frames. There's a lot of different frames to choose from down the bottom of the screen. There are some here that I really like called Cute. So if you add that on, it adds a box there, and you could do it with the others as well. The only thing is because the frames, they actually touch each other, so we could move that photo down so you can see the other frames. Oh, a little bit, there we go. You can see all 3 frames. That looks quite nice just with a white background. And then on the opposite page, just again, keep it simple, do a nice big photo. Let's see what we've got. We just want a full picture box here. and just want a single photo that contrasts. So have a hero photo on one page and have some smaller snapshots on the opposite page. There's also in the classic theme and the build your own theme, there is a nice background. It's a bit sort of kitschy, but a lot of people like it, where you can put a heart-shaped design on your page, so this one. And then you can just add a bunch of photos to it. So throw your photos in wherever you want them. We won't put my mum in there. And you can just keep adding photos if you've got a lot to choose from. You might want to add, there's another scrapbook item that you can add which actually says best mum ever. There's a whole lot of scrapbook items you can choose from. You can see them all down the bottom here. Here's one. Best mum in the whole world. So you might want to put that on the page, or I don't know, move it up here, whatever you want to do. You can make it a bit smaller. Yeah. Anyway, you can play around with it and do what you like. So just remember, lots of options, adding backgrounds, coloured backgrounds, patterns. Some of the kids' backgrounds are even nice if you just want a nice plain pink dots or blue dots. Those look really lovely. And frames, there's a lot to choose from. And scrapbook items, there's also a lot to choose from. So hopefully that's enough to sort of get you started. Just remember that the simpler you keep it, the better. You don't need to put too much on a page because then it gets a bit busy. So just keep it nice and clean, nice and simple. If it looks good to you on the page, then chances are everyone else is going to like it. All right, so that's all we've got time for today. Let's see if anyone has any questions. If you don't mind waiting for a moment, and I'll just check if there are any questions. Feel free to type something to me right now if you want to. Okay. Okay, so someone's asked, does everything get saved to go back to? Yes, it does. So when you're using the download editor, you're actually working on your own computer. So everything is saved onto your own computer. It's not saved in the cloud. So every time you finish a session, there's a save button, or it's good to save every now and then. Also make sure, if you can, when you finish a session, it's good to get out of your project and out of our program altogether. What that does is creates a history file of your project. So if your computer crashes or anything goes wrong, you've got a backup of it. So yes, you can get in and out as you like, and it'll all be saved there. With the online editor, it gets saved when you create an account. And sorry, someone's just asked if I can show you how to save. Yes, I can certainly show you how to do that. If you have a look, oops, sorry. Why is it not going to my screen? Just 1 second. There we go. Okay, so if you have a look at the screen, there is a save button here. It looks like a floppy disk. It'll only allow you to save if you've made changes to your book. So if I make another change, add a photo, the other way to save is clicking on the File menu and then Save, and that'll save it. Once you've saved, the floppy disk becomes grey because you've already just saved. All right, let's just check if we have any other questions. That I think is it, looks like. All right, yes, that is all. So just before we go, let's just do a quick recap of what we've talked about. So to create a beautiful book for your mum, work out how you're going to categorize your photos first, what sort of order you're going to put them into, decide on your theme and which product you're going to use, add your photos, and as you're adding them, you can use different backgrounds There are also mask frames and scrapbook items to enhance your photos on the page. Also, I was going to mention that photo books are one option for doing books for your mum. The other option is that you can do other gifts as well. I'll show you on our website. You can look at, sorry, if we go to the top, let's get out of this page. We'll just go to photo books, gifts over here. There are lots of things to choose from. You could do a mug, a cushion, you could just do some prints. There's lots of different options here that you can choose from as well. All right, so before we go, just a reminder that you can call our customer service team anytime if you need help. We're here from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. That's Melbourne time. Our phone number is 1300 553 448. You can also reach us by email, which is service@albumworks.com.au, or you can talk to us on live chat from our website. You can also head to our website, www.albumworks.com.au, to view our Mother's Day promotion, as well as enter our Instagram competition. Both of these finish next Tuesday. If you want to watch any of the previous webinars, click on the webinars and tutorials link on our homepage. It's about halfway down on the left-hand side. It's business as usual for Albumworks production. We're still here producing photo books as normal. There may be a slight delay in delivery, and you can read about this on our website, but most things are going out within the normal time. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Looking forward to having you here again at our next webinar. In the meantime, have lots of fun creating your photo book. Thank you. Bye.